Hello. Can you hear my computer? It's ever so often. I don't know why. Probably somebody can probably tell me. Every so often, this fan starts up in the back. It's probably because it's probably working. Oh, it stopped. That's convenient, and it stopped. Probably because it's working too hard. My IT knowledge is you could probably write on the back of a stamp, but anyway, that's irrelevant now. I've got pickups to show. I think I did actually in my last video about the beasts of the Southern Wild. I did say it wasn't going to be a pickups video, but not so much a lie, but I didn't lie. It was more unplanned. I hadn't planned anything, so the intent was there, but the inclination was lacking. The motivation, not motivation. No, it was motivation. What the fuck am I talking about? No, it's going to be quite a quick video. I mean, because the light's fading anyway. I can see the sun just gone by a cloud. The sun's going down, but I've got not too many games to show, and some of them all come in sort of one, so they don't really have to be explained or anything. But it's not a bad little selection, if I'm honest. And you might be able to tell by the title, because I've had a title go around in my head. Because these games I've been wanting to I've had for a while. I've been wanting to show, and I've thought up this title specifically for showing these games. So it might be slightly misleading, but no. Let it ring. It's only going to be somebody selling something. It's going to be one of those automated messages. I'm not answering it. Should I answer it? I only shout. I end up shouting down the phone. It'll probably end up being my nan or something. Gone. People don't. Nobody uses landlines nowadays. Nobody phones our house. Uses phones our landline. If they want anything, just phone mobiles. So you pretty much know what you're going to get if anybody ever phones the landline. Apart from my nan, because she's obviously old people are stuck in their ways. But what a waste of 30 seconds. No, pickups. Some good stuff, some interesting stuff, some slight slip-ups. Which I'll get onto, sorry, screw it. I forgot which order it came in. Oh, this is it. I'll do it. The best one first. Actually, no, do they come in that order? No, this order. Best one first. This was going back a few weekends. It was on a Saturday. I've got myself into a routine. I do a Saturday mooch. I'll go for a mooch around, looking for stuff. It's been a habit that's been going on a while now. Sometimes it pays off, sometimes it doesn't. I try and go to as many places that sell games as possible. Usually like as many cash converters or charity shops, game shops, blockbusters, you name it. And this was going back a few weeks now. Went into a cash converter. It's my favourite branch in Edmonton. I've often done well in there. Not always, but often. I've had some. That's where I got Mega Man Legends. So it's turned into my favourite branch. And I went in there, and they didn't really have much. And then they've got this cabinet where they keep certain things. And I turned around, and they had some sort of stuff in there. I did like a double take. And I had to look really sort of close in at what this thing that I thought I'm about to show you. And I thought, that can't be what I think it is, can it? Because it's not really my sort of. I don't really necessarily have an expertise, but if I did have an expertise, wouldn't be my area of expertise. So I had to sort of really think it through in my head. And then I decided that it was what I thought it was, and it was definitely, if it was what I thought it was. Oh Jesus! Then it was definitely worth nabbing. And as soon as I get it out, anybody with half a brain, not including me, will see where I slipped up. Oh, it's only a cart. It's a cart. It's a cart game. There's a clue. It's a cart game, and it is Lakers versus Celtics, the NBA playoffs. And I was like, seriously, is that what I think it is? And without thinking, I went over to the guy and said, oh, I need to look at something in your cabinet. It's only 50p. Only 50p. I need to look at something in your cabinet. And then I looked at it over and bought it there, and then I sort of walked off down the road with sort of like, yes, buzz. And then it was like a bit like it's a bit like the end. I don't want to give anything away to anyone who's not seen the film, but it was a bit like the end scene in The Usual Suspects. The most famous twist in the whole cinema, apart from I See Dead People. Bruce Willis is a ghost. No, this is The Usual Suspects, and the end sequence in The Usual Suspects, it was like that in reverse. I left cash converters all sort of like buzzing, yeah, and then bit by bit I slowed down, and then the cogs in my brain started to work, and then they were in a bag in my bag at the time, and I sort of stopped in the street. I thought, hang on, I'll have a look at these again. Thought it was a bit too good to be true. Something stirred in my brain. And I took the cart out, looked, and no, I was right. I thought it was a Mega Drive version. I thought it was a PAL Mega Drive version, but you won't see that. Or will you? You will. But no, it's a Genesis version. Of course it is. I almost thought I'm not going to buy it because it's only a cart, you know. Even though it's this sort of legendary game that people don't always know that exists because they've never seen it, and I think it's only Ashley Escort has got one, and Ninja Bear hasn't, and XR 2708 hasn't got one either. And I thought, wow, well, I can give this to someone, or you know, I've got to step up on all of those legendary Mega Drive collectors. No, of course not. What a spanner. So anybody who knows their salt, knows their stuff, spotted that a mile off. Is that my head? Yeah. What can I do? I've not even tested it. I don't even know if it'll work on my Mega Drive. May well not. I don't know. I should test it. No. It should. I don't know. Sometimes they do, sometimes they don't they? Right. Now, with it, and I bought this because this was going on to play. Mutant League Football. This is sort of to go with. So I used to love Madden 92, or 93, can't remember. And obviously this is sort of, it's not the Games Workshop sort of style, is it? No, it's not like Blood Bowl, but it's actually a pretty good game. So I bought that with it, and they're only 50p each, and so it's not much of a boob. Not much of a boob, but you know, from where I thought I was to where I ended up, the drop was massive. If that makes sense. The sun's going. You can tell the sun's going down. I'm gonna have to sort of sit in the sun, which is cast. Oh, that's dazzling me. And now I'm dazzled. I'm gonna have to be quick. I'm gonna have to stop bullshitting. The same day, boob number 3. Went into a charity shop for $1.99. I saw a game that wasn't necessarily a game I had my eye out for, but it's from a range of games I've always wanted to play, never played, but always wanted to, and it's Lego Star Wars 2. I flashed that in front of the camera so anybody can spot where I went wrong. I saw it, it was $1.99. I thought I'll have that, and but no, it's Star Wars 2, la trilogia original, and at the bottom it says completamente en castellano, which means completely in Castilian, which is Spanish. So I bought a Spanish game. It says completely in Castilian, So I was thinking, does that mean it's going to be 100% manual and game in Spanish? So I had to test it. Turns out no, it's not. The game is the game's in English, or you get a choice between English and Danish for some reason. So if you don't, that's a bit of a bitch. I feel sorry for people who don't speak English, because, like for instance, if you don't speak English, you're not going to really know what's actually. There's no voices in this anyway. There's just text. You're going to have to sort of blunder through. But anybody who doesn't speak English is just like screwed. So this game is in English or Danish, unless there's some sort of region recognition thing which recognises you're playing in Spain and it plays the game in Spanish. I don't know. Well, I've actually been playing it. It's pretty good. I've played through the whole campaign. I'm only about 36% complete. And it's really funny. The camera's a bit dodgy, but I like the fact that you're always going to complete it, because you just, you don't really die. You just come back straight away, don't you? But no, not bad actually. I'm just those are my 3 boobs, as in the title. My title that I've had going over my head for a while. Going back a week or so now. This is another Saturday, a different Saturday. Went to, I've forgotten where it was. I went into a branch of Shelter, charity shop Shelter. They've been opening up quite a few branches recently, and they're from the outside they look like trendy women's clothes shops. So they're a bit sort of embarrassing to go into. But then you realise they are actually charity shops. And I just want to say something. I don't buy with this idea that charity shops are dodgy. I mean, where are we if we're getting to the point where we're demonising charity shops? I think there are better people, there are better outlets or companies, or what's the word? I can't think of the word to demonise. Like Amazon, for instance, they don't pay tax, or Topshop, he doesn't pay tax either, or who else doesn't pay tax? Starbucks don't pay tax. I mean, demonise them. I mean, seriously, charity shops. I can't really see charity shops being headed up by just chief executives who are only in it for their own, lining their own pockets. Come on. If a shop looks nice from the outside, more people are going to go in it than if it looks like a dump. That's just the natural laws of the world. That's the way things work. So they spend a little bit of extra money to make it look nice, to get more people in through the door, more people spending money. There's a charity shop in Waltham Cross that looks like a dump. It looks like there's nothing worth having in there, and generally there isn't anything worth having in there. And people never go in there. It doesn't even look like a shop. People don't go in there. So if you make a shop look like a shop, people will go in there. That's just the way it works. And I got this in Shelter with a knackered case for £3. Raystorm. This is one of my best charity shop buys of recent months, because this was right up on my list that I showed in that video a while back. Because I did have this as a nipper, not as a nipper, as a youth. I can remember buying this when I was at art college. Me and my mate Ben went out one lunchtime. I think we bunked off. He bunked off, and I went out to WH Smith's, and I bought this. I think it was $29.99. Might have even been $19.99. Can't remember. And then we took it back to my house and had a couple of and we had a good old go on the double 2-player. Really good. I know it gets stick from shooter aficionados, but I've got a bit of nostalgia for this. I drunkenly bid on an ex-rental copy once, and I'm really glad I didn't get it. I got outbid because it wasn't like this. But this is the replacement case. Everything else in it is actually pretty good. It was £3. I think that's high. Obviously that's high. But I don't think they're trying to rip people off. They're not getting greedy. They're just trying to get money for the charities. Nobody's pockets are being lined. Obviously they do pay managers, but everybody else is volunteers. There you go. That's just my opinion. Not in a charity shop. in a market stall in Watford. Their market opens and weird. It's like Tuesdays, Thursdays, Fridays, and Saturdays. It's really annoying opening times. And there's a woman in there who sells games. Generally, she sells DVDs, but she does sell games. And sometimes she has a decent selection of stuff. Other times she doesn't. And her prices are a bit all over the shop. But this one I got lucky. I wasn't going to buy it because it's a game I've already got. It's Skull Monkeys for £4. Skull Monkeys, one of my favourite games ever in the world, ever, of all time. Actually, I did transplant. I have transplanted that. Actually, no. This is the rubbish one. This is the knackered one, because I bought this primarily because while I was standing there, decided not to buy it. I remembered that the disc on my copy was pretty battered, and the manual on my copy was pretty tired, and something else wrong with it. It was just generally a bit tired. I bought it from eBay, but generally it was a bit knackered. And I looked over all the stuff, and the copy that I've got now, I've took the composite parts, and my good copy is now sitting upstairs. But this is a composite of the new one I bought and my old rubbishy bits. But so obviously, now this is a duplicate of slightly rough. It works because I played through it. But that was £4, and that was worth having because it's a brilliant game. And now I've got a half decent copy, so I don't know what to do. That'll go somewhere. But I was just really chuffed to finally have a copy that I was happy with. And the day it was sort of like the evening after the cinema. I came out of the cinema when I went to see the film that was from my last video, and went for a mooch around in a few charity shops before because it was quite late. They were still open because I went during the day. And in an Oxfam game called Agent Armstrong for £1.99. I remember this Ash ate one before you. He showed this. He bought this and did a gameplay video of it, and it looked pretty good. It's like a side-scrolling shooter, run and gun, in the sort of the vein of Metal Slug or Gunstar Heroes, but not as good as either of those, but still worth having. And it's one of those games that isn't worth too much, but sellers on eBay imagine it to be worth more than it is, and so their prices are sky high and it never sells. And because it never sells, there's no frame of reference to people who want to sell it, so then the price stays artificially high. And it's one of those games. And I thought £1.99. It was a game that it used to be. I think it might be on my list. I'm not sure. What used to be one of my eBay saved searches until I just replaced it with something else. But there you go. And nearly finished. I've sort of broken one of my own personal rules. I have not so much a bitch, but a bit of a whine about the fact I keep seeing a range of games that I shouldn't really buy, and they always tempt me. But sometimes I do, sometimes I don't. I have in the past, and I shouldn't, because they're not strictly my sort of game, and I've already decided they're not my sort of game. And I think this is about the third or fourth time I've seen this particular range of games. If anybody has been watching my videos for a while now, they might know, they might be able to guess. And I went in Cash Converters this last Saturday, and I looked in their cabinet, and there they were. I'll get them out. Pokemon Blue, that says £1.50. Pokemon Blue, £1.50. Pokemon Gold for £1.50. Pokemon Red for £1.50. Pokemon Yellow for £1.50. So this is almost a bit like it's a bit like my story with the N64 games, with the Mario Party games in slow motion. I keep seeing these games around, and I decide, no, I'm not going to buy them. I'm not going to buy them. And I've seen them sort of around so often that in the end I've just relented. It's almost as if I've been taunted. Undoubtedly, then I've always said that I'm not really the target audience for these games, but maybe because I've seen them so often that maybe I'm always sort of like I should give them a chance. I do have some actually. I do have some, but those I've got some upstairs. I didn't have blue, so this one's totally new. I've got these other three, and £1.50 is a bit of a no-brainer. My idea of not buying them was because they pretty much would be just to sell on, and I want to avoid that. I don't really want to really get into that. And if I'm honest, I'm not 100%. I couldn't be 100% that they're legit. I don't know how often you get fakies Game Boy games or Pokemon games. I imagine it's a lot, but the printing looks okay. The labels aren't 100% straight. I would say if I was to put a wild guess, gold and yellow would look more legit than blue and red. But if I was to lay money on it, I'd say they all are. They're just a bit battered. But I've got them now, and it seemed a bit of a no-brainer too. Whether or not I didn't really have an idea what I was going to do with them, but I've got them. So now I have to decide what I'm going to do with them. Even though three out of the 4 are duplicates. And finally, this is just from this afternoon. I had some credit. And from Computer Exchange, burning a hole in my pocket, and I really wanted this. And this particular one was in pretty good nick from the outside, and my local branch doesn't really have this. For some reason, it sort of disappeared from the shelves. It's just overstocked in other branches, but my local branch of Computer Exchange doesn't really have it. So I was in another branch, and I had my credit. I thought, yeah, I really want this, and it's Mass Effect 2. So for £6, and that's part of the reasons, because the price is it's a decent price, £6. Because I know the first Mass Effect is £8, and Mass Effect 3 is, I don't know, 15 or something. But there you go, it's my little stash of stuff with my good, bad, and the uglies, and my 3 boobs, my 3-boobed alien from Total Recall. 20. That's not a bad time for price. Jesus Christ. Not a bad time for me. Just in time, because I can just see the sun going down over the rooftops. You might be able to tell from the light. It's starting to soften, go a bit colder. But I've enjoyed this. Thanks for watching. Thanks to my anybody's sub that I haven't got round to thanking, because as I've always said, I don't really keep an eye on my subs, but sometimes when you're checking out sort of certain pages, your own personal YouTube pages, there's the little number is sort of lurking in the corner, and you just sort of glance it, and I sort of glanced at the fact that I had a certain amount of subs, and it was more than the last time, but I don't remember getting notification, if that makes sense. So obviously maybe people have been subbing and I've not had notification and I've not been able to thank them. Yeah? So if that's the case, I really appreciate it. Really appreciate every sub that I get, and thank you if you have done. Thanks for watching. There will be another video along sometime, hopefully soon. Yeah, thanks for watching. I hope this wasn't too garbled. Yeah. I can't think of anything else to say, so I'm not gonna. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time. See you later, peeps.